Alrighty folks, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the vlog. Appreciate y'all stopping in to watch this video real quick. I just learned this CDGR dealership or a Ford dealership. I can't tell which one it is because in the writings, in the articles, it's a Ford dealership. In the video that I'm going to show you, it's a CDGR, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram dealership. But they lost $1.2 million of inventory and over 300 keys to vehicles on their lot in one night, and literally within minutes. And this is like a scene out of Gone in 60 Seconds, where they come in, see the cars, find which ones they want, take 8 of them, and then they're gone. Well, let's get into this. All right, so this incident happened April 9th, so a couple weeks ago, and these guys are super sophisticated, very, very smart in what they're doing and how they do it. It's really, really crazy how fast and how quick these criminals can come into a dealership that has loads of security and layers and upon layers of security, and just come in within minutes, subvert all of those security mechanisms to come in, grab 300 keys, take 8 vehicles off the lot, and they're gone without a trace. It's really amazing how fast these guys can do it, and how quickly they can make it happen, and how sophisticated these robberies really are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and play the news clip from Arab, Alabama. It's not an Arab-owned dealership. It's a dealership, Chrysler Dodge Jeep dealership. At least that's what's in the video, but what's in all the print is a Ford dealership. So you can make up your minds there. It really doesn't matter. But they stole $1.2 million worth of inventory, including a Dodge Demon 170 and a Ford Raptor. So let me get into the let me show this clip, and then we'll come back and we'll talk just a tad bit more about it.
Well, we start with a News 19 exclusive. An Arab car dealership is out more than $1 million after an overnight burglary.
This story is incredible, and the investigation continues as police and the FBI work to locate 6 missing luxury vehicles. News 19's Kayla Smith joins us live from North Country Ford in Arab. So, Kayla, what can you tell us about this incident?
I spoke to the owner of this dealership, and he tells me that it's been quite a process getting things back up and running. Not only did the group drive 8 vehicles off of this lot, 6 of which haven't been found yet, but they also stole more than 300 keys. Technicians and locksmiths are still working to replace and reprogram the keys belonging to these vehicles. The break-in happened just after midnight on Sunday, according to Arab police. The thieves threw a rock through a window in the dealership service bay. Once inside, they turned off and wiped several hours worth of surveillance video. The dealership owner told me they then plugged a computer into the dealership's key safe, unlocked it, and took all the keys. When police were notified the next morning of the break-in, they found several trucks and cars missing. Arab Police Chief Shane Washburn says his department is working to identify who committed this crime.
It seemed like it was very organized and sophisticated. I believe these guys probably is not the first time they've had a burglary of this nature. So I think we're dealing with some people, like I said, some professional criminals.
The dealership estimates this crime resulted in a loss of about $1.2 million. Chief Washburn says this burglary looks a lot like several others that have recently taken place across the region, and his department has brought the FBI into their investigation. I spoke to the owner of this dealership, and he walked me through the events of the break-in. I'll have more on the impact and what we know about the types of cars that were targeted next at 5. For now, live in Arab, Kayla Smith, News 19.
So as you can see from that short clip, these guys are slick. So literally, one person walked up, threw a rock through a window. They crawled through that broken window, got into the dealership, took a laptop, hooked it up to the key safe, hacked the key safe, took over 300 keys, put them in a little bag, and you know the cars nowadays, they're all linked to these key fobs, and they all got keyless remote entry. So they just walked up to whatever car they wanted to, opened the door, started it up, and drove off the lot. Not only were they able to do that, but at the same time, they were able to disable all of the security cameras, and not only disable them, but go back and delete hours worth of security footage. So all of their casing of the place, I'm sure they cased it, you know, earlier in the day or earlier a couple hours before or what have you. So all of that footage is gone. So these guys has left without a trace of who they are, where they came from, or what they were doing. Really amazing technological feat for these thieves to be this smart and this quick at, you know, getting into this dealership, taking 8 vehicles off the lot. 2 of the vehicles have been found. The other 6 they're still looking for, as far as I know of. But I haven't seen any recent stuff saying, hey, they got the keys back or they got these vehicles back, and primarily probably because they got the FBI involved. They're not going to do anything until they wind up catching these guys or gals, or guys and gals that stole these vehicles. So we probably won't see anything updating you know, from this robbery, but just amazing how they just got in, got out, and done just that fast. Okay, so what's not really clear in all of the articles and the news story is where they come up with 1.2 million. Now, granted, a Raptor's expensive, the Wagoneer is expensive, the Demon 170 is expensive, and you know, even if they stole some Hellcats, even if the other 5 vehicles were like $100,000 plus vehicles, it still doesn't come up to 1.2 million. It gets kind of close. Maybe they're looking at the damages to the dealership, the damages to, you know, their security stuff, the damages to the key box, replacing all that stuff. That may be wrapped up into that 1.2 million. But it's really unclear how they get to that total 1.2 million. But yeah, it's crazy how quickly, you know, this happened. It, again, within minutes they were in and out with all of these cars. Hey, you know, Racer X also did a video on this, and you know, he brings up a great point. Hey, is this an insider job? Well, one, the police don't think so. So let's just start off with that. But I mean, knowing where all of this equipment is, where all of these things are, like the servers for the cameras, the electronics for the key boxes, all, you know, those couple things, they're not well known to the outside world, you know, where these things are held and where they're kept. So, you know, breaking in, getting in there, finding this stuff, and then let alone knowing which obviously they cased the place. There's no doubt about it. Within the last few days, probably a few weeks, they were casing this place, looking it over, figuring out what cars they wanted, the whole 9 yards. But now, like I said, trying to figure out where the servers are, where the key box is that holds them at night. You know, from walking into a dealership, you don't see those things. You don't see a big sign, here's our security servers, you know. So could they have gotten some inside information from someone at the dealership? Possibly. Could they have got it unbeknownst to the person that they got it from? They were getting it to steal from the dealership? Possibly. You know, there's all kinds of possibilities, but obviously the police do not believe this is an inside job, because this has happened before to other dealerships. I mean, these guys have this down to a science, you know, breaking the window, getting in, doing everything they do with the security cameras, shutting off, deleting past videos, and then getting into the keys, grabbing the keys, and taking the vehicles that they want. They really have it down to a science. And this goes to, someone stealing something from your driveway. These guys have this stuff down to a science. And it's a team effort. It's just not one person coming in and trying to do all this stuff. It's a team effort that they use. And it goes to, hey, you're not going to stop these guys from stealing your vehicle. It's just you can't do. It's impossible. They are going to find a way around it. The only thing you can do is deter these folks, these criminals, and that's exactly what they are. They're criminals. You can deter them from taking your vehicle by security cameras, security measures, parking it inside your garage, parking it in a well-lit, well-traveled area, things like that, right? You can deter them. You can get a car alarm. Again, these are all deterrents. They're not going to stop them. All you can do is try to deter them enough to say, all right, this one's going to be too hard. I'm going to move on to the next one. And, maybe he steals your neighbor's car, or a few houses down, they take their car, which is sad to say. It really is, that you're trying to push them off to someone else, but it's all about protecting your property, and they should be taking the same methods, the same methodology to protect their property. And if they were, they would just go on down the line and find an easier target. And there's always going to be an easier target. Again, sad to say, but that's how these guys work. And here's another piece of this. Now, you got this dealership that has lost 300 keys. They can't sell any of those vehicles until they get those keys reprogrammed and redone. So these guys just don't follow that car to whoever buys it and then steals it again, right? So replacing the keys, getting new key fobs, getting them reprogrammed is going to take time, and they can't sell any of those cars until they do, let alone the reputation of good, bad, or indifferent. Right? Somebody sees this, CDJR dealership in Arab, Alabama just got all their stuff ripped off. They lost all of these keys. How long is it going to take the public to feel comfortable going back to that dealership and buying a car from the dealership? It's tough. It's a tough situation. It's a really, New Country, Ford, CDJR, whichever dealership it was from. It's going to be a tough sled for them to, regain that trust and regain their reputation to the public to where people feel comfortable coming back and buying from them. Another sad thing, but it's just the way it is. These guys are really fixated on Dodge, on Hellcats and Scat Packs. You don't hear a whole lot of GTs and RTs getting stolen. I'm sure probably some people do wind up stealing some of those, the RTs or the XXTs and the GTs. But, these guys' primary focus are the high-end Dodges, the Demons, the Super Stocks, the Red Eyes, the regular Hellcats, and the Scat Packs. Because that's where the big money for them really lies, is in those cars. And if you own one of these cars, again, I implore you, take measures to deter your car being stolen. If you don't, maybe your neighbor does, and your neighbor just pushed the criminals from them to you because now you're wide open and they're deterring them. So, I mean, you got to do what you got to do to protect your property. That's just the way life is nowadays. And with these criminals, there's more and more of them every day. And this is just one example of one dealership that has got hit by these criminals. And in the public sector, it's happening every day. Every day, cars are being stolen, and they're right out of people's driveways. You've seen the videos from Knockout 360, Racer X, TK's Garage, Butter to Insider, OC Motivator, RT Life, his channel. Y'all see these cars being stolen just within minutes, and they're gone. So all I'm imploring you to do is protect your property as best you can. So as far as I know, this investigation is still ongoing. I haven't seen anything in the news telling me otherwise. So if you have any information, reach out to the Arab Police Department. And, if you know where anything about the keys, anything about the last 5 vehicles out there, just call the police and let them know if you have any information. But that's going to do it for this one, folks. If you're stopping in for the first time, please check out the rest of the channel. If you like what's going on with the rest of the channel, do me those few things. Like, subscribe, smash the bell, shoot me a comment, share it on your social media. I'll definitely appreciate it. Shake and Bake will definitely appreciate it, because every red penny from YouTube goes right back into Shake and Bake. That's it for this one, folks. Till next time, adios.